Good morning, Intenders.
Good morning.
Welcome and welcome back to Morning Intentions. Today is Monday, February 9th, and we're so glad you're here to join us once again. I just wanted to give a little update on the mattress situation since we had so much fun with that last Friday. I got my new mattress. It took me a night to get used to the new feeling, but I'm loving it.
You did say that you were anxious.
I was
the first
anxious,
night?
yes. I was anxious. Am I going to ruin it in some way? Am I going to spill something on it? Or am I going to sleep in the same position every night and make a big
Dent
dip
in the middle.
like the last mattress I had ended up having? So I was pretty anxious actually the first night. That's why I said I was going to get into the whole thing. I was anxious the very first night, like, oh gosh, I don't want to ruin this one. And then the second night, I said, Ada, just enjoy it. You got yourself a new mattress. Just enjoy it. And then I got a good night's sleep.
That's great, Ada. I'm happy for you. Did you think about our self-inquiry question as you were lying in your new beautiful bed?
I did. And actually, I think what I just said, just enjoy it, was part of my self-inquiry work.
Let's go back and share what the self-inquiry question was.
I'm glad we're on the same wavelength. I was just about to say that.
So what we were inquiring within about is how do we go about making these changes in our lives to now bring alignment into our life when we have lived out of alignment for a very, very long time. Maybe that looks like we heard what we really wanted or needed, like Ada knew she needed a new mattress long before she got it. But we're in the habit of pushing down our desires or putting everyone else's needs before our own to make this tiny switch. Remember, it can be very subtle. We're going to have more success if we make subtle, concrete changes as opposed to changing everything right away. But then how can we bring these subtle changes into our life so that we can honor what we listened to and noticed in the month of January? It truly is more about where our decisions are coming from as opposed to what it is. Because remember, alignment isn't a performance. Alignment isn't something that we do for somebody else. Alignment is an extension of the listening and the noticing, and then we're working to be aligned with what we listened and noticed. We want our decisions to be aligned with what we listened to and noticed from inside. This is not, I heard about this on the outside, or somebody else said this, or someone came to visit me and I took them into my bedroom and they saw this big dip in my bedroom. And so now I have to get a mattress for them.
That could happen, though.
Well, that could happen, but that wouldn't be
but
alignment.
We don't have to listen to that.
No, that really wouldn't be alignment with self, which is what we're focusing on.
That's right. And I want to put this another way in terms that we've used before. I'm going to go back to that content versus form idea that we often bring up. Out of alignment is living from fear, actually, and then in alignment is living from love. So when I'm worried, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to ruin my brand new mattress, we can all hear it in my voice. We can hear it even in the words I would say to myself. That's living from fear. So of course it would be out of alignment with who I really am.
And that's an extension of living out of alignment in many, many different ways, in many different forms. And that's why living from alignment can feel strange. Mm-hmm. You mean I could just relax and let myself enjoy my new bed? We're used to a lot of negative self-talk or a lot of evaluations and judgments about how we're going about life. So when last month you listened and you noticed, and listening is listening how your body feels, listening, oh, I don't deserve a new bed. And noticing thoughts like that would come up. And then to say, well, I'm going to make a decision that is in alignment with what I heard. And what I heard was I need a new mattress. And so then we live from that space. I know this is subtle, and I hope we're all getting this. It's not about the action itself. It's about where the decision is coming from. We're changing that inside. We are deciding what we're going to do on our Saturday morning. And maybe in January, we notice, well, Saturday mornings, everybody wants me to do something. My kids want me to do something. My partner wants me to do something. My friends want me to do something. We listened and we said, I'm not doing what I want to do. Alignment with self is to notice all that has been going on. And then instead of going to that same place that we've always gone, it's like, oh, I got to do everything for everybody else, or oh, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or haven't seen that friend for a while, and if I don't see him, then they're going to be upset with me. No, actually, I have to come from this space and be aligned within myself so that whatever I do, it's in alignment with what's really true for me. So it's at our decision point is what we're trying to align. That's why it's not a performance. We're not going out and doing anything. It's not about the action. It's about this decision point place within us that says, I listened and I noticed and I know what's true. So alignment begins internally. It's about internally what's going on. For the next few days, Ada and I prepared a few examples of how to then go from being out of alignment to being in alignment. The first example is one we've used many times on the podcast, but it bears repeating because this is a very common experience. When someone asks us for help, remember, we can say yes immediately. We can have this compulsion to be the fixer, the helper. Oh gosh, I must be the one who says yes. What we're listening and noticing is, okay, someone's asked me to do something, and then we can even watch ourselves say yes, and then we can watch ourselves get resentful. We can listen and notice that. So what we want to do, one action that we can take so we don't go straight to being out of alignment, is to pause before we answer. Pause before we answer. We can pause by saying, let me think about that, and I'll get back to you. And then really pause. Listen. Notice what's truly in alignment with you. And remember, now this is a big one. We're going to talk about this a lot in March. But you do not have to explain or justify yourself to anyone. You don't have to give anyone a long story. I don't even care if it's your adult kid. You don't have to say, oh, well, I'd really like to help you, but da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, none of that is really relevant. What's relevant is, what are you listening and noticing? You're listening and noticing that everybody's asking you to do something on your Saturday morning. Now you don't have your own Saturday morning. So you can say, thank you. I appreciate you thinking about me this morning. I need to do some things for myself. Today, I need to get some things done at home. You don't have to tell people what you're going to do at home. You don't even have to tell anyone anything. And that's where we kind of get caught in like, oh gosh, what am I going to say? Oh, I have to explain this to everybody. You do not have to explain or justify. What we're doing is we're wanting to come from this aligned place. So it's perfectly acceptable. Typically, when we're living out of alignment, we need someone to give us permission. So I'm giving you permission. It's perfectly acceptable to pause before you answer so that you can listen and notice. Remember the orientation. And then you want to align yourself with what is true. What's true is, I need my own Saturday morning.
And with that, our intention for today is to live from alignment. I will pause before I answer. To live from alignment, I will pause before I answer. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our day is better because you are part of our day. See you tomorrow.
See you then.